各位观众，大家好，欢迎回到我们的直播现场。那么即将进行的是2019赛季国际汽联亚洲3级方程式锦标赛最后一回合的比赛了。那么尽管在这个年度的总冠军已经在今天早上的比赛当中角逐出来了，不过呢，因为前9名的车手都会获得这个超级积分，所以呢所有的车手还会为他们的位置今天的进行最后一场的努力。So although in the morning's race the title is already decided, but for all the drivers, because of the top 9 finisher of the season will get super license points, so they will still fight for their positions. But before the restart, let's have a quick look of last round highlights.
Welcome back to Shanghai International Circuit for the final race of the 2019 F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. Let's take you back one step, a few hours back to earlier this morning when we had race 14 of the 15 race calendar. Ukyo Sasahara started on left of screen, but the pole sitter was Daniel Cao by virtue of setting fastest lap time during the opening race yesterday, and the local driver for Absolute Racing stormed off the line. Then it got really interesting. Brendan Leach, the New Zealander for Black Arts Racing, tried to go around the outside of Jack Doohan, knew he had him covered into turn 3, the left-hander, and he muscled his way in. Then Ukyo Sasahara, the championship points leader, tried to fight back and push Jack Doohan. From Doohan's perspective, he couldn't allow the Japanese driver to lead. At one stage, he got half a nose in front coming off the Parabolica, but had found some serious speed in the number 2 high-tech entry, and Doohan was able to out-drag his teammate. This was a great battle too that went on for much of the race. Guo Yu having a really good run, but he muffed it down at the hairpin. Unfortunately, went in too deep, and that allowed the battle between Jackson Walls and Jordan Dempsey to carry on. The luckless Thomas Liudi stopped again. That brought out the safety car, and then we're away once more. But it really had gotten interesting in this fight for the championship. Sasahara knew he couldn't let Doohan get too far away with a 35-point advantage coming in, and just 25 points left for the final race. Isham Pires was doing a good job too. Guo Yu right in the battle. The Chinese driver really was impressing. The other Chinese driver in the field, though, he took the victory. And what a stunning run back-to-back for Daniel Cao and Absolute Racing as we go into the final race of the season, where he will start from rear of field. We will be down on the grid very shortly with Feline and the stars of the 2019 F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. Interestingly, we'll go through to the 2020 season. Feline was talking about it at the beginning of the show. It starts in mid-December back at Sepang International Circuit. Very much an off-season championship for the third year of the F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. But the championship, well, that was wrapped up this morning. There is a bit of a deficit now. It's 32 points between Jack Doohan in position 2 and Ukyo Sasahara, who is the championship points leader and the 2019 champion.
So Ukyo, congratulations! You already win the overall championship. But then after that, what this mean? What means for you for this race?
Yeah, first of all, happy to be champion for this series, and this race I'm going to drive in for the high-tech team, and they've done all the fantastic job through the year. So hopefully, me and Jack, whatever me or Jack, P1 or P2, we hope to be finished on the car on the top 2-step podium. So hopefully we can have a good pace.
那刚才我问到Ukyo， 他因为他已经拿到了年度的总冠军，那么对他来讲这场比赛对他意味着什么？他提到呢他也非常的开心能够拿到这个年度总冠军，也感谢 High-Tech Team 来给他提供了一辆非常优秀的车。他也希望呢在这场比赛当中，他和他的队友 Jack Doohan 能分别拿到1、2名的好成绩。Back to you guys.
Well, after what had been a sterling year coming into this event, we were 12 races in when we were here for Shanghai's first event of this year earlier this month. And at that stage, nobody outside of Hi-Tech GP had actually won a race in the F3 Asian Championship for season 2019. That was changed by Daniel Cow and Absolute Racing. They've won both races this weekend as the number 1 and number 2 entries for Hi-Tech. Ukyo Sasahara and Jack Doohan have fought over this title. They've been focused very much on each other, not so much on the race lead. But as you heard the Japanese driver say, championship's out of the way now. It's time to return to situation normal, the way they had spent the first, well, effectively the first 7 races of this championship, sharing first and second either way. Now it's 8 wins for this season to Ukyo Sasahara and 4 to Jack Doohan. They want to tidy that one up, and I'm sure Jack Doohan would like nothing more than to take another victory. He starts the inside, left of screen on the front row, Ukyo Sasahara from pole position. Down to Feline. She should be down there with Jack Doohan.
Hi, Jack. You had a pretty good fight with your teammate Ukyo in the morning's race. So what will be your approach for this race?
Approach will just be to do the best I can, as the championship's already wrapped up. So I'm just going to go for the win and try and get a good start and just finish on a high.
Thank you. 那刚刚我问到 Jack Doohan 呢，他因为上一场比赛当中呢，他和他的队友Ukyo有一个非常激烈的角逐。那么在这场比赛中，他有一个什么样的计划呢？他希望呢，他在这场比赛中可以拿到冠军，也希望能有一个非常好的起步。Back to you guys.
Coming into the first time round at Shanghai International Circuit on the 6th to the 8th of September, it was very much a closely fought affair, about 8 points separating Sasahara from Doohan. There was nothing in it, but unfortunately for Jack Doohan, just couldn't get the program right last time round, and he had a real battle on his hands. The Hi-Tech team and he worked tirelessly to improve. They finished 4th in the first race, 3rd in the second, 2nd in the final race that weekend. But the clincher was the fact that Sasahara went on and took victory in all 3 races to extend his winning streak from 5 to 8 and effectively put the championship out of touch. It had been a great season up to that point. They'd shared most of the race wins. In fact, they'd shared all the race wins up to that point. The only difference being this weekend when the battle had come down to the wire and Daniel Cow and Absolute Racing had taken great advantage. For the local driver, for the local team, it was a strong opener for this weekend, but unfortunately after qualifying, which sets the grid for the opening race of the weekend, the first session, there was a drama with the rear suspension of Daniel Cow's number 5 entry. And the Absolute Racing team had to work pretty hard to get the car ready between qualifying and the opening race, prepared it perfectly. He fired off the second row after qualifying P3 for that opening race to storm into the lead around the outside of the battling Hi-Tech GP drivers to take the lead and storm away from the race. Jack Doohan hauled him in. He was 3.3 seconds down at one stage, crossed the line just 1.1 second behind in second position. Similar situation occurred last time round in race number 14 earlier today, but it was Brendan Leach who pushed initially very hard to force Daniel Cow onto his A game. It was victory 1, victory 2 for Daniel Cow, but for this race he will start position number 12. Has a lot of work to do. There has been some situations with drivers trying different tyre banks. Went to the press conference after the second race. Championship battle was over, and Jack Doohan said, well, we kept the freshest set of tyres for this last race in the hope that we could take the fight to Ukyo, but unfortunately for him, its title fight is over. So the race isn't. There is an opportunity for him to tick off with 5 wins this season. And as the teams clear the grid, we will go through the grid order for the final race of the 2019 season. What an epic season it has been. Started in April at Sepang in Malaysia, went on to Chang International Circuit in Buriram, then Suzuka Circuit in Japan, the famed Formula One Grand Prix. Old school circuit, very tight, very little runoff, some great racing that weekend. The only flaw in the otherwise perfect seasons for Jack Doohan and Ukyo Sasahara up to that point. Tough run in race 8 and 9 for them, but they were so far ahead in the championship. They came into Shanghai earlier this month, still locked in the title fight. They've put it all out of question. Nobody else came into this round in contention. It was Doohan or it was Sasahara. In the end, it was the Japanese driver that took the win and the championship. Well, he didn't take the win. He hasn't taken a win. Neither of them taken a win this weekend, but certainly took the championship. That is one of the pinnacle cars on the grid. Hasn't been able to take off. That may have been Tommy Smith further back he's got going now. Interested to see whether Thomas Luty's running, but we'll talk about that. There it is. That's the way the championship is going to finish. That's the way they start this race. Ukio Sasahara from pole position. Jack Doohan, number 2, from position 2. Brendan Leach, good close to the season for the young New Zealander. P3 alongside Jordan Dempsey, who's having a strong finish to the 2019 season. Jackson Walls from position number 5 in the 3rd of the High-Tech Grand Prix entries, alongside fellow Australian Tommy Smith, who will be hoping for a strong finish to the season. Kuai Yu having one of his greatest runs this year at home here in Shanghai for Zen Motorsport, alongside Ishan Pires, the 2nd of the Absolute Racing entries. Akash Gowda from position 9 on his return for M Sport Asia, alongside Thomas Luty. Let's hope he is able to recover after that retirement in the race earlier today. And he had a drama yesterday which necessitated an engine change. Paul Wong for 852 challenges, the man from Hong Kong. He's the champion for the Masters Championship this year. And Daniel Cow will be starting from the 6th row in position number 12 with a lot of work to do. Let's see if he can make it 3 from 3. But I'm not tipping that is the likely outcome of this race. Keep a close eye on the number 1 and the number 2. Who wants this more? The championship's wrapped up. High-Tech GP for the 2nd season in a row will take the team's championship. They're taking the drivers' championship. Last year it was Raoul Hyman. It was a 1-2. Jake Hughes finishing in position 2, comfortably the team's champions. And this year too, team's champions already wrapped up. Sasha Haro's wrapped up the driver's title, and it's 1-2 again for High-Tech GP. Valuable super license points that goes towards the qualification for the higher formula in the FIA ranked competitions worldwide. That is important for these drivers too. So as Feline said rightfully on the grid, there is opportunity to card important, valuable championship points towards super license. Sasahara, he has the championship in the bag, 8 wins this year. Jack Doohan, position number 2. But behind them, there's still some hope for Brendan Leach to have a solid run. If he takes the victory here too, there's every chance he might be able to close down the lead for Daniel Cow. But 2 solid wins for the Chinese driver really has just about put P3 in the championship out of reach. It was a 10-point deficit between the two. 131 to Daniel Cow, 121 to Brendan Leach, the New Zealander, coming into this race. 2 wins to the Chinese driver has extended that advantage. And really Brendan Leach needs some level of drama to fall the way of Daniel Cow, and he wouldn't wish that on his rival. It's important not to record a DNF. And whilst they've had a tough run, 1 solitary point to Jack Doohan in round 8 at Suzuka, 2 solitary points to Ukio Sasahara in round 9. That was as a result of a drive-through. Doohan's was a result of a technical issue. Whilst leading comfortably, he could have been another 24 points further down in this championship. Would have taken the fight right through to the end, but sometimes that's the way it goes. As they say, it's motor racing. To finish first you have to finish. A DNF really does throw that equation out the window. There is the man with all the work to do. He has been the sensation this weekend. The gunmetal grey and fluoro pink entry of Daniel Cow. He's at the tail of the field. Right of screen, Ukio Sasahara, the 2019 champion. Left of screen, his title rival, the number 2 in the High-Tech GP team. 4-time winner this year to Sasahara's 8, Jack Doohan. He has the inside run off the line. Sasahara's been a little bit pedestrian. Lights are on. Lights are out for the last time in season 2019. Sasahara, a good run off the line. Doohan goes up the inside, gets alongside. What will the Japanese driver do? Will he give him room? Yes, he has. They're side by side into 1. Doohan up the inside. Brendan Leach, a strong start. Position 3, open the door. Jackson Walls, it's a 1-2-3 for High-Tech GP. Doohan has got the lead down to turn 3. He's got the run. Brendan Leach back to position 3. Great start for Jackson Walls from the 3rd row to be in position number 3. Jordan Dempsey back in position 5. That looks like Ishan Pires up to position number 6, the 2nd of the Absolute Racing entries. Keep a close eye on the 2nd of the Absolute Racing entries. The number 5 of Daniel Cow. Looks like he's up already to about position number 8 in this race, but it's Jack Doohan leading from the front, the Australian. The champion for this year, his title rival. He lost it to him in the race earlier today. Ukio Sasahara sitting in position number 2. He'll push hard, but Doohan wants redemption. He wants a victory here at Shanghai. It hasn't been a great partner for him this year so far, but he'd like to end this season with another victory and show that he had the ability if everything was right. But Sashahara, what a good run out of 10. Down to 11, heading towards the Parabolica. This is where the Absolute Racing team's been strong. How about Jackson Walls alongside his teammates? This could be 1-2 for Australia. Jackson Walls up to position 2. He's taken the position away from the Japanese driver. An Anzac assault on the Japanese driver. That's now Brendan Leach up to position 3. Up the inside, he pulls out of the draft, heading down the long straight towards turn 14. What's he going to do? Brendan Leach, can he get round? Sashahari's got good speed in that Black Arch Racing entry. Jackson Walls on the inside holds the position. What a solid start for the young Australian. The objective machine up to position number 2, a 1-2-3. What a way to close out the season so far for High Tech GP. Strong run for them. Is now, what a great job for Jack Doohan. Crosses the line, 1.6 seconds clear. One of the strongest starts to the 6 races we've now had here. The F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA with a 2:05.3, a storming opening lap for Jack Doohan. As now Brendan Leach has another look at Sashahara. He's already been past him once this weekend, but sadly he retained that position for mere metres as he had a tyre failure in the left rear in the opening race yesterday. That forced him to pull out and unfortunately retire. Well, he didn't retire, that's not true. Forced him down pit lane. The team had to put another tyre on. He rejoined, but back in position number 10. That had a big impact on his result and the advantage that he lost to Daniel Cow. He went on to take victory, not in that race, just in that race, but also in race 14. Jack Doohan, this is what we want to see. This is what he'd been looking for when we turned up here 3 weeks ago. Sadly, it didn't happen. This will be some level of redemption if he can close out the season. Look at that lead already. Second is Jackson Walls, who now runs a little bit of interference. Doesn't have the experience of doing, has been doing a little bit of F4 racing in Australia. He'd like to close out the season this way and potentially go into the 2020 season in Asia for High Tech GP again and put himself in the box seat as one of the championship favourites. Of course, Ukyo Sasahara, not just the champion of the F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA, but also the 2019 Porsche Carrera Cup Japan champion. Wrapped that up a couple of weeks ago, and he's really liking the fact that that's 2 number 1s this year for the Japanese driver. But at the moment, he's got a bit of work to do to get past Jackson Walls. Brendan Leach now under fire from Isham Pires. Where is Daniel Cow? In position number 8. We should see him at the back of that pack. Jordan Dempsey. Tommy Smith now under fire from Daniel Cow at the back of that group. Cross the line again. What's the lead? The lead is out to an impressive 2.5 seconds for Jack Doohan, a 2:02.3 last time round. See if he can get into the 2:01s. That's almost qualifying pace we saw. He was. That Thomas Ludi on the exit of pit lane. It looks like he stopped down there. What horrible luck for the man from Hong Kong. Loves his open wheelers. He's in the Masters category. He's had 4 wins this year. Well, he's walked away from the car. So not only has he had dramas in the opening race where he was driven into the side of by Tommy Smith. Tommy got caught up in the grass, had nowhere to go but into the side of Thomas Ludi. They were both retirements. They had to replace the engine in the number 9 Black Arch Racing entry overnight. He started this morning, didn't get too far in that race, rolled to a stop on the run down to turn 6, brought out the safety car, they recovered the car, and he hasn't even been able to record a single lap in this race. And that's dire news for Thomas Ludi and the Black Arch Racing team. So focus returns back to Brendan Leach, who's been a great addition to that team this year. Really has helped them to some strong finishes this year. And Brendan Leach will be hoping to move forward on these 3 High Tech GP entries. There's very much been the scene of 2019, and frustration for the New Zealand driver is now not just battling Sasahara and Jack Doohan, but Jackson Walls, position number 2. What a solid run. Doohan's pushing hard. Australian 1, Australian 2. Japanese driver Ukyo Sasahara, the 2019 champion, position 3. Brendan Leach, the New Zealander, position 4. And Sri Lanka's Isham Pires, the second of the Absolute Racing entries. Second at the moment, he's the first of them. As that looks like it's Daniel Cow. Is it further back? Defending from Tommy Smith, so he's got that position. There is Daniel Cow, winner of the first 2 races this weekend, fighting his way through. Oh, also Akash Gowda's in a great battle. Was that with Kwai Yu? It looks like it might have been too. So Kwai Yu also in his own battle, and that's the way this season has gone. Whilst there's been strong focus at the front of the field for the two high-tech GP entries of Sasahara and Jack Doohan, there's also been some fantastic battles right through the field. Right at the tail of the field now, the blue entry of Akash Gowda battling behind Kwai Yu. Top of screen, that is the 852 Challengers entry of Paul Wong, who is the Masters champion for this season. He wrapped that up last time round after another dire event for Thomas Liudi. He's gone the triple this weekend, but not the way he wanted to do it. That's triple retirements. It takes it up to 8 retirements from 15 starts this year. He's saying to me this morning over breakfast, 3 of those have been DNFs through contact with other cars removing him from the circuit. Apart from that, a few technical issues. So that's been a real setback for the man who's been a strong supporter for the Black Arts racing operation, based out of Zhuhai, effectively the home track for the many Hong Kong drivers based in that part of the world. As Jackson Walls looks relatively comfortable at the moment ahead of Sasahara. So the objective driver, a good result for him so far as Jack Doohan continues to extend that lead. Fastest on track, fastest lap, 2:02.36 last time round, 2:02.32 his fastest lap. Next quickest, 2:03.30 for Jackson Walls. That's impressive. So a second slower than his compatriot, but at the moment faster than the champion of 2019 and his teammate Yukio Sasahara. Doohan first, Walls second, Sasahara is third, Leach is fourth, Ishan Pires back 6 seconds from the leader in position number 5. Jordan Dempsey in position 6 in that battle with Daniel Cow. Well, no, it's not Jordan Dempsey battling with Daniel Cow, it's Tommy Smith who is behind him. Jordan Dempsey has a 3.4 second advantage over Daniel Cow back there in position 7. Tommy Smith in position 8. Kwai Yu in position 9 for Zen Motorsport. Position 10 for Akash Gowda, who's dropped a little bit back now from the Chinese driver. Paul Wong in position 11, and unfortunately for the Black Art Racing team, their star in the Masters Championship and a fan favourite, Thomas Liudi, he is a retirement for the 3rd time this weekend. What a season it has been, and it continues as we get to the midpoint of December. The opening round of the 2020 F3 Championship certified by the FIA. Sepang International Circuit, 14th and 15th of December. 10th and 11th of January in Dubai in the Middle East for the second event, rounds 4 to 6. Just a week later at Yas Marina in the Middle East. 17th and 18th, the 3rd race weekend of the 2020 season. 14th to the 15th of February, back at Sepang in Malaysia. And then the season finale just a week later at Chang International Circuit in Buriram. Good opportunity for drivers from all over Europe. Some strong interest from some of the big teams in F1 in their junior development and junior driver programs. So that promises for a great 2020 season. Jack Doohan, a Red Bull junior driver, already eyeing off a return to Asia. No doubt you will see Jackson Walls return, whether Sasahara returns to defend the number 1. Certainly high-tech GP will carry that through to a 3rd season. There's now the Japanese driver, the champion, looks for a good run off. Oh, just a little bit squirrely on the exit, the run out of turn 13 for Jackson Walls. He moves across to defend slightly, won't want to do too much of that. The stewards will be watching. Side by side, drag race again as Doohan leads into 14. What happens behind him? I think Sasahara might have him. Moves across as we get in towards the apex for a better line. Jackson Walls will look for the crossover, but I think he might be done. I think the Japanese driver will push the point now and force him out wide, have a better run through turn 16 and onto the main straight. He'll keep the door closed, keep the inside running. Good drive out too for Jackson Walls. He's not giving up. This is the way to learn. Battle a driver with the experience of Sasahara. He is the champion. He is the number 1 for the team. And he's doing a great job just holding the young Australian out. I don't think Jackson Walls has finished. This is helping Brendan Leach just to close in a little bit. He was 2 seconds back from this battle. I think that passing move has also allowed him just to close up a little bit. Because now the lead out to 5.4 seconds. 2:03.1 last time round to Doohan. Sasahara 2:03.9. 2:04.5 for Jackson Walls. 2:04.1 for Brendan Leach. So he's gained about... Well, he's lost a little bit to Sasahara, but he's gained about 0.4 of a second on Jackson Walls. Ishan Pires 2:04.1 as well. He is just 7/10 of a second behind Brendan Leach. Jordan Dempsey just under a second behind. Did his quickest lap of the race with a 2:03.8. He's 7/10 slower than race leader Jack Doohan, who's got a point to prove. At the moment, he's on task to his 5th win of the year, just to close down that deficit to Sasahara, but he'll only take 7 points out of him by virtue of the Japanese driver now through to position number 2. Runner-up again for what will be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th time, 7th time this year behind Jack Doohan this time. Sorry, that's not true. 1, 2, 3 times this year. So this would be his 4th runner-up position, the way things stand at the moment for Jack Doohan. It'll be win number 5. 2 wins at Sepang, 1 win at Sepang in the season opener, 1 win at Chang International Circuit and Buriram in Thailand, 2 wins at Suzuka in Japan, and on task for a complete whitewash for Doohan before a technical issue during a safety car period with a handful of laps to go. And that was it. That was wins number 3 and 4. And he's on task to win number 5, the final of 15 rounds for season 2019. Fully certified by the sports world governing body, the FIA, the F3 Asian Championship has adopted the Federation's groundbreaking new single chassis, single engine concept. All cars use the Tatuus F3 T318 chassis with the autotecnica, Alfa Romeo ATM AR F3R engine, 270 horsepower, about 350 newton meters of torque. They found a little bit more this weekend. 6-speed paddle shift gearbox, controlled GT competition GTR1 tyre, about 650 kilos. Talking to Jack Doohan, these are a little faster than what he runs in Euro Formula Open. They are a lot lighter, faster in a straight line. Different tyre in that championship. He's been the leading rookie a couple of times. He still carries that battle on. Another round in that championship. Very frustrated here a month ago, or 3 weeks ago, during the 4th race weekend of the season. Watching Isham Pires soaring away at the wheel, just battling there between Brendan Leach and Jordan Dempsey. This is a good result too for the Sri Lankan driver to close out the season. He's right in the mix of the battle with a couple of drivers who've been on the podium so far this year. These cars have been very, very good, have been very much a benchmark. Last year they were very much a blueprint for F3 globally, as the F3 Championship looked at the new cars, structurally very sound. A little heavier than the cars a couple of seasons ago that have campaigned Europe. Performance-wise, engine performance have worked very much on reliability more than pure power, so that's very much a budget-conscious decision. The harder compound tyre, no power steering, the drivers really have to work. But this is about developing talent from F4 to F3, F3 to F2, and for those drivers lucky enough through to F1. Kuai Yu was having a good weekend, but now he's fallen back into the clutches of Paul Wong. Sorry, it's Akash Gowda. So he was battling earlier in the race in amongst Jackson Walls and Jordan Dempsey in the race earlier today. So he has had some solid results. Of course, the Chinese drivers do get a lot of miles on Shanghai International Circuit. It is the home of the Chinese Formula One Grand Prix. A lot more new circuits have come online recently. Zhejiang and Ningbo are 2 that are very close to Shanghai International Circuit, only within a couple of 100 kilometres of here. Tianjin just recently, the V1 circuit, just a couple of hours from Beijing, north of here, has come online. More circuits in play to come online soon, so very much a culture building for motorsport in China, but it is emerging, it is new so far as the likes of Europe or Australia or certainly America. This is a market that is emerging. Japan, a very strong motorsport culture, so too Thailand in this part of the world, Korea as well, but China still very much in its formative seasons. But even this weekend now, there is a strong crowd in the grandstand eager to watch not just GT racing, but this is where young talent comes from. This is where they hone their skills. Wings and Slicks formula out of go-karts, a good next step beyond F4 into F3. And drivers like Jack Doohan who have progressed through from karts, where he's been quite strong globally, course, the son of 5-time world motorcycle champion Mick Doohan, just 16 years of age. So too Jackson Wall, so too Tommy Smith, the 3 young Australians. Sasahara, 24 years of age, Japanese driver. He is the champion this year of Porsche Carrera Cup Japan, so the experience he has gained here in F3 has been very much been able to transfer across to GT competition. Paul Wong too, often like Brendan Leach, turning miles in the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Championship in Asia. Also for 852 challenges, Brendan Leach has been on the podium a number of times this year as the pro driver in a Pro-Am lineup. So good opportunities in Asia for drivers to step from the development formula of open wheelers through to GTs. Just yesterday we saw one of those drivers, Martin Rump from Estonia, who did a lot of open wheel miles in Formula Masters China Series, which doesn't run anymore. But that was a precursor to F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. He took victory alongside Wei Rontan from Malaysia, former winner in LMP2 in WEC for Audi in Blancpain GT World Challenge Asia. That championship's over. Concluded just a couple of hours back now, concluding his season for 2019 in the F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. He's 6.1 seconds down the road, still turning laps in the 202s, a 202.7 last time round. This is what team bosses around the world want to see. They don't want to see a driver just lead and win. Certainly in their development as young drivers, they want to show they can push and keep pushing. They want to show consistency. They want to show they're able to completely punch out laps under pressure, tyres wearing, weight dropping down on the car, heat, fatigue, all those things. They can continue to just focus and push. He's got a lead, but he's still pushing. Jack Doohan, 202.3 last time round. Sorry, 202.3, his fastest lap. 202.7 last time round. Sasahara, 202.9, his fastest lap. 203 dead last time round. He's still pushing. Jackson Walls, 203.2 last best lap. 204.0 last time round. Back 3 seconds now. 9 seconds down from the leaders. It's a 1-2-3 whitewash for Hi-Tech GP so far to close out the season with just 10 minutes to go in this race. Brendan Leach, fastest at 203.5, 204.1 last time round. Ishan Pires, 203.8 quickest, 204.7 last time round. Jordan Dempsey, 203.828, 3 1,000ths slower for his best lap than Ishan Pires. 204.7 his best. Daniel Cow looks like he's done the best he can with his tyres. He's 5.1 seconds down on Jordan Dempsey. 204.0 his best lap. 205.1 by contrast to Jack Doohan's 202.9 last time round. So the man who dominated race 1 and 2 here for Absolute Racing, he is unable to improve on what his current position is. He's back from this race. Ishan Pires, the lead driver now for Absolute Racing, the number 5 entry. It's not the number 5 entry. This is Daniel Cow. Ishan Pires is the number 15 entry, of course. He is there in position. Where's my ice cream? Oh, look at this. Ice cream delivery midway through the race. The tonsils are starting to get a bit sore as we go into the last 10 minutes of the 2019 season. This is the 15th 30-minute race. You can see why the tonsils are sore. There's been a lot to scream about this year as this battle, sadly, it closed last time out. But for the moment, there he is, Jack Doohan with 10 minutes to go. We'll give you a little bit of ambient sound as I just give myself a bit of a breather when we go into the final stages of the 2019 season. Jack Doohan still on his way. 2:03.1 last time round, comfortably leading this field. Just over 8 minutes to go on the clock. Now let's just step back to what Feline was talking about. Super license points are the way you qualify for the higher formulas. They're vital, they're important, and there's something that team bosses around the world are watching. So whilst you might think these guys are spread out, the championship's over, what's there to race for? There's everything to race for, and just what we were talking about with Jack Doohan continuing to push, this is what they want to see. There's team bosses up and down pit lane, including one from Australia, Roland Dane, listening on, the boss of the 888 team, keeping a close eye on the next generation of stars. Of course, when your name's Doohan, the whole country is egging you on. Mick Doohan, of course, a 5-time motorcycle Grand Prix world champion. He's here. He's been supporting Jack right through this season. And what a humble young guy this is. Just 16 years of age. He's honing his craft, and what better way to do it than under fire from some of the best drivers in the world. Of course, he's running with one of the best teams in the world. High-Tech Grand Prix, they've dominated the championship out here in the last 2 seasons. They won the 2018 F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. They won the Winter Series, and they've won the 2019 championship. They'll be back for the 2020 championship. They've based themselves. They have a base here in Asia. Of course, they are still heavily involved in the development of a lot of young talent, of course, in Europe. Some of the young drivers will progress from the Asian Championship into Europe, and part of the reason that the championship for 2020 has stretched into the off-season in this part of the world is allow those drivers in Europe that want to keep honing their craft, keep learning, keep developing, and for the Asian drivers to be able to progress from here into Europe, because at the end of the day, the peak of the global competition does happen in Europe, and they want to progress into those championships. So it's a great opportunity for them to not have date clashes in this part of the world, to get that out of the way, commit their 15-round season for 2020, and then merge into championships all over the globe. It is part of the development formula that is the F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. As Shampiris having a strong close to the season. We saw a very strong start to the season from the Sri Lankan driver alongside Daniel Cow. Daniel Cow's no real surprise to see him win races 13 and 14. We did expect that after a strong start to the season. The Chinese driver kicked off the opening round of the year with pole position at Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. It's been a tough run from that point on. If we check out the records, he finished 3rd for the opening round. He had a 3rd at Buriram for round 4, a 3rd for round 5, 2nd in round 8 again at Suzuka, 2nd in round 10 at Shanghai when we were here 3 weeks ago, 2nd in round 11, and then victory in round 13, victory in round 14. It's no surprise with Absolute Racing having a base here at Shanghai International Circuit, as they do at Zhuhai. That's where Fabien Fior and Ingo Matter first started. Fabs is still based there, the Frenchman. His German partner has moved to China. Very instrumental in the base here at Shanghai International Circuit, because they also have a base at Sepang in Malaysia. You can see that lead now. It's stabilised at about 6.4 seconds. Doohan back into the 2:02s. This is pretty impressive. 2:02.8 last time round. Well, let's say impressive. Ukyo Sasahara, he's the champion. He's taken 8 wins this season. Doohan's on task to take his 5th. 2:02.9 for Ukyo Sasahara. Both those drivers sub 2 minutes during qualifying. Just tenths of a second apart. Very, very impressive. Jackson Walls too. It's not broken into the 2:02s. 2:04.2 last time round. He's dropped 14 seconds back from Jack Doohan, the man on screen in the number 2 entry. Brendan Leach still sitting there. He's less than 3 seconds behind Jackson Walls, but unable to do too much. Also 2:04s last time round. So too is Shampiris in position number 5. Jordan Dempsey in position number 6 for the Pinnacle Motorsport operation. Daniel Cow in position number 7. Tommy Smith in position 8. Kwai Yu in position 9. Akash Gowda back there in the all-blue entry in position number 10. And the 852 Challengers entry of the 2019 Masters champion Paul Wong in position number 11. 12 laps in the books. Likely will card at least 14 with 3 minutes 43 left on the clock. Fastest lap for this race to Jack Doohan. This is some level of redemption for a tough run here 3 weeks ago. He just couldn't nail it. Fourth in the opening race, third in the second race, second in the final race, but every one of those races he was forced to watch the number one entry, and he's still throwing the car around. Yukio Sasahara isn't done with season 2019 just yet. He's pushing, and he's pushing hard. 6.7 seconds. Doohan, whoa, 203 dead last time round. Sorry, 203 dead for Sasahara, 202.7 for Doohan. Still pushing very, very hard. Doohan fastest first sector, Doohan fastest second sector, Doohan fastest third sector. Fastest speed last time round to Paul Wong with a 245, or his fastest speed. Fastest straight line speed to 253. That may well have gone, no, it gone into Dempsey. It went to Jordan Dempsey in the Pinnacle Motorsport entry. Talking to the team down there at Absolute Racing just prior to this race, congratulating them on that great recovery from Daniel Cow. Qualified P3 in the opening qualifying session. Just moments later heading out for the second session, unfortunately had a failure. They were a bit surprised. It seemed to be a part failure in a pin in the left rear suspension. Is it right rear suspension? Certainly in the rear suspension. Saw him sideline without completing a single lap for Q2. That sets the grid for the third race of a race weekend. Of course, the grid for the second race of a race weekend set by the fastest laps of each driver in the opening race. He set that, Daniel Cow, in the opening race to have pole for the second race. The last lap board is out now, ready for Jack Doohan. Daniel Cow backed up after victory in race 13 with victory in race 14. They felt they had something more, but admitted they used the best of their tyres going into the final race. And unfortunately for Daniel Cow, no better than 7th in this race. But some redemption too for Absolute Racing and for Daniel Cow after pole for the opening round of the season to come back strongly. Second twice here at Shanghai, 2 wins. That was a solid run of points. But for Jack Doohan, he's recovered, and redemption too for the young Australian. He will close out the season as it stands now. Was his 5th win of the year. Another strong lap, 202.6. Mere 10th between each lap he has turned this race. Been very, very impressive. This is the way he wanted to start round number 10. He came into round 10 just 8 points back from the championship points lead. Had a torrid weekend 3 weeks ago. And redemption this weekend as Jordan Dempsey looks again at the tail of the number 15 entry, the Absolute Racing entry of Ishan Pires. For the last time through turn 6, the last competitive race lap for season 2019 for Jack Doohan. He charges through and continues on. Crossed the line 7.2 seconds clear of the 2019 champion. He wore the number 1 this season by virtue of Raoul Hyman taking the championship last year for Hi-Tech GP. He only took a solitary victory out of 15 rounds. 9 of those wins going to Jake Hughes, who only turned up for 3 of the 5 race wins, was doing double duty in Europe. Jake Hughes finished just 2 points shy of Raoul Hyman to be P2. It was a 1-2 for Hi-Tech GP last year. It's a 1-2 for Hi-Tech GP this year. Number 1 is number 1, Yukio Sasahara. Number 2 is number 2, Jack Doohan. 5th win of the year, 5 wins for the young Australian, 8 wins to the Japanese driver. What a season they have had. It's been a watershed season again for Hi-Tech GP. This time round, not just 1, not just 2, but Jackson Walls, who joined the team for the 3rd race weekend at Suzuka, will bring them across the line for a full lockout of the championship final. 1, 2, 3, but it's Jack Doohan for the final time in season 2019. Comes through the final corner. He'll be happy with this. This is the way he should have started this round. Just 6 races back. Congratulations for the team. He'll be happy with that. Everybody will be overjoyed. 2nd for Sasahara and the championship for this year. He can celebrate too. And it's a 1, 2, 3. Jackson Walls, the young Australian, crosses the line for position 3. What a solid finish to the season. Great finish too for the Black Arts Racing team and Brendan Leach. Ishan Pires takes 5th place for Absolute Racing. Jordan Dempsey crossed the line 6th. 7th for Daniel Cow, the man who won the opening 2 races here. Here is the battle for position number 9. Kwai Yu will take that by the looks of things. That is Tommy Smith across the line in position number 8. The young Australian's been on a learning curve this year as Kwai Yu for Zen Motorsport crosses the line in position 9. Ahead of Akash Gowda, and then it'll be Paul Wong across the line for position number 18 and victory again. I think that's his 6th win of the year. Here he is for the 850 Challengers team, 52 Challengers team. Paul Wong and the Masters Championship for 2019. But what a season it's been for High Tech Grand Prix. What a season for Ukio Sasahala. What a season for Jack Doohan. And in the end, the Japanese driver wraps up the title with his 4th place finish earlier today. Well, I'm about breathless. What a season it has been. I'm going to need that 3-month break before we do this all over again and kick off the 2020 season in the middle of December. Brendan Leach considers what might have been. He's pushed very hard this year, really has been instrumental in getting some solid results for the Black Arts team. That also may have translated to their success in F4 this year. But for Jack Doohan, there'll be some level of pleasure in that. There'll be frustration too that couldn't have happened when he was here 3 weeks ago. But he didn't give up. He never gave up on that weekend. He finished 4th, he finished 3rd, he finished 2nd. He's come back here this weekend, 2nd twice, and victory, second in round 13, 3rd in round 14. Of course, Brendan Leach was 2nd earlier today and takes victory last time out. So 3rd, 2nd, 1st. A nice way to close out his season. Sasahala, as it turned out, didn't take a solitary win. It just goes to show this weekend, but just goes to show how important it was to take those 3 victories last time round. There are the 3 team entries for High Tech GP. They salute Ukio Sasahala, and good shout out to Jackson Walls too. He joined the team for the 3rd race weekend. He's been on the podium. It's not his first podium this season. In his 2nd race with the team, he was 3rd. And in his final race for the team this year, his 9th race with High Tech GP, he cards another 3rd placed finish. But there is your winner. Round 15 for 2019. Jack Doohan, it'll be great to hear from him. 2nd across the line for Ukio Sasahala, the 2019 F3 Asian champion. And 3rd for Jackson Walls. It's a lockout, it's a podium lockout for High Tech GP. The boys can be proud of that. They're racing in Europe too for the European F3 Championship this weekend. A little bit further back in that championship battle, but for Jack Doohan, he deserves to celebrate this one to close out his season. What a great season it's been. Nick will be there somewhere. The team's congratulating the Red Bull Junior driver. Jackson Walls deserves some congratulations as well. But the championship goes to the Japanese driver, Ukio Sasahala. We'll be down there with the teams very, very soon. Hear from Feline as she talks to them. We will go through then to the podium and stay with us for the press conference, the closing press conference for the 2019 season. There it is, victory to Jack Doohan. He's not Great Britain, let me tell you, he's an Aussie. 5th win of the year. Ukio Sasahala, 2nd across the line, 7.6 second deficit. 3rd across the line to Jackson Walls. He is an Aussie, just under 13 seconds. 1, 2, 3 for High Tech GP. Brendan Leach, Ishan Peiris, Jordan Dempsey. Daniel Cow, the winner of the other 2 races here this weekend at Shanghai. Tommy Smith, Kwai Yu, and Akash Gowda round out your top 10. Then it is Paul Wong. Takes victory again for the Masters category, and unfortunately for Thomas Liudi, a torrid weekend. Might have been 3 victories for High Tech GP, but it was another triple, and that was a triple for, well, it wasn't 3 victories to High Tech GP, sorry. 3 on the podium this time around. I'm getting far too excited, but a triple for Black Arts Racing for Thomas Liudi, and that was a triple retirement, unfortunately for him. Hasn't stopped the smile. He loves the racing, loves the battles he's had this year, and I'm sure so far as the battles he's had this year, Jack Doohan will be top of the pops and down there at some point shortly with Feline Wang.
Hi, Jack. Congratulations! Finish P1 for the final race of the season. So tell us about your experience with for the whole season with the Formula 3 Asian Championship.
You know, it's been good, a really good foundation for me. Of course, it didn't go to plan. I didn't win the championship, but still I'm happy to get second in the championship and find a good base for myself heading forward for the next step in my career.
Congratulations! 那么呢，刚刚我问到 Jack， 他这个以第一名的成绩完成了本赛季的最后一场比赛，他的对整个的F3 的这个亚洲 F3 的这个比赛是怎么看的呢？他觉得亚洲 F3 是一个非常好的比赛，给他建立了一个非常好的基础。虽然他在赛季初呢是想拿到年度总冠军，不过拿到年度第2的成绩，他也非常的开心，希望这个对他的未来的事业的发展也是一个非常好的基础。Back to you guys.
That was a good point Jack Doohan made about the development of his career. This is a good next step. He's only 16 years of age. He's looking towards Europe next year. He's looking back to this part of the world for the off-season. But these are vital laps. Good to see the smile back too. He lost that a little bit last time round. He was on the back foot this weekend. He did everything he needed to. And certainly he has nothing to be ashamed of. So nice to see him close out the season with victory.
Hi, Yukio. Congratulations to finish P2 and your teammates finish P1 and for the final race. Yeah. But still, you got the overall championship. Tell us your whole experience for the whole season with Formula 3 Asian Championship and what's your next step?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, happy to finish last round with a high-tech order 1 to 3. I think I did a perfect job because considering the tire I had, because Jack and Jackson had a better tire in this race. So for sure, I will be like P3, sure, but yeah, I could make P2 and 1 to 3 was happy. And yeah, the Formula 3 Asian Championship is really one of the toughest competition I had. And yeah, especially like Jack, we had a young teammate and he's quick. So it's been really tough in the whole year, but happy to be finishing the first place and overall. So yeah, end of the season like this, it's really nice.
Congratulations. 刚刚我问到 Yukio 呢，他今天呢 finish P2 的感受怎么样？他提到呢那么今天他也非常开心，他觉得对于High Tech GP Team 来讲也是一个非常好的结果，他也非常高兴能拿到年度总冠军。他认为这个亚洲 F3 其实是一个非常高品质，也对他来讲是一个非常竞争非常激烈的一个比赛。他也非常高兴能认识像Jack Doohan 这样的优秀的车手，希望在他未来的事业发展都有一个非常好的帮助。Back to you guys.
Well, certainly a deserving champion is Ukyo Sasahara. He did it from the front. He's an 8-time winner this year. Jack Doohan, a 5-time winner. The championship got relatively close, but effectively the battle was won last time here at Shanghai. Just too great a deficit for Jack Doohan to overcome. But as Ukyo Sasahara said quite rightly, 1, 2, 3 for the team. And here it is, right of screen. Ukyo Sasahara left of screen, and it has been so many times this year. Jack Doohan. Sasahara moved across and leant on his teammate, but Doohan wasn't having it. He wanted to take this season out with a victory, and he did just that into turn 2. Behind, though, check out Jackson Walls muscling through on Brendan Leach. He took the position away. It was 1, 2, 3, high-tech GP, and that's the way they would stay. Brendan Leach stuck with them for a while. The other one to keep an eye on was Daniel Cow. He'd won the other 2 races this weekend. He was moving his way forward. And ultimately, there wasn't much he could do. There he is further back battling with Tommy Smith. Good battles right through the pack. Akash Gowda and Kwai Yu just behind this pack. They were taking the fight through as well. This very much highlights the way the season had played out. Jackson Walls monstering Ukyo Sasahara. That was a great battle as well. Ultimately, the Japanese driver, well, he fought hard. He showed the young Australian a thing or two. But as he said, he didn't quite have the best tyre batch. His 2 teammates, they had better rubber. That allowed Doohan to just get away. And this is what affected Doohan during the course of the weekend. At that case, in those cases, he was battling with Sasahara over position. And that allowed Daniel Cow, as it was for race 1 and 2 this weekend, to just break free and get away. This time it was Doohan with his 2 teammates battling behind him. He was clear at the front. Sasahara earlier today had wrapped up the championship. The deficit, 32 points coming into this race, and with 25 on for the win, It was too big a void for Jack Doohan to breach. That didn't stop him, and he charged hard, mid-tenths off his fastest lap slower right through the 14-lap race distance, and Jack Doohan nailed his 5th win of the year. Justly, Ukyo Sasahara crossed the line in position 2. Jackson Walls across the line in position 3 to close out their second season with a second team and drivers championship victory to High Tech GP. And here is the 2020 calendar. It kicks off at Sepang in Malaysia on the 14th and 15th of December. Then we shoot across to the Middle East for a doubleheader across 2 weekends. We kick off at the Dubai Autodrome on the 10th to the 11th of January, and just 1 week later at Yas Marina in the UAE, 17th and 18th of January. Then we're back to Sepang in Malaysia for the 4th race weekend of the season, 14th and 15th of February with the Asian Le Mans Series. And then we shoot up to Chang International Circuit, Buriram in Thailand, just a week later for the final round of the 2020 season, the 3rd year of the F3 Asian Championship certified by the FIA. So stay with us. We will go through to the podium. After the podium, we will have a press conference where you will hear from the teams in the 2 different categories. Keep up to date with the F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA online, www.f3asia.com, and the various social media platforms. Thanks for joining us for season 2019. We look forward to your company in mid-December as we kick off the 2020 season.
We're now having a podium ceremony for 2019 Formula 3 Asia Championship certified by FIA, race 15. Now let's welcome our top 3 drivers onto the podium. Winner of the race, car number 2 from High Tech Grand Prix, Jack Doohan。获得冠军的车手是来自 High Tech GP 的2号车手杰克·杜汉。Second place, car number 1 from High Tech Grand Prix, Ukyo Sasahara。Third place, car number 17 from High Tech Grand Prix, Jackson Walls。下面有请何建东先生，中国汽车摩托车运动联合会专职副主席兼秘书长，为冠军车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. 何建东, Fédération of Automobile and Motorcycle Sports of China, Vice President and General Secretary to present the trophy to first place. 下面有请黄勇先生，上海市汽车摩托车运动协会常务副会长，为亚军车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. Huang Yong, Executive Vice President of Shanghai Automobile and Motorcycle Sports Association, to present the trophy to second place. 下面有请王茂才先生，嘉通轮胎中国投资有限公司总经理助理，为获得季军的车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. 王茂才, Assistant to General Manager of Giti Tire Investment Company, to present the trophy to third place. 下面我们有请颁奖嘉宾和获奖车手合影。Let's have group photo. Now let's welcome winner of Master Cup. 下面有请 Master Cup 的获奖车手。Winner of the race, car number 44 from 852 Challengers by Zen Motorsport, Paul Wang。大师杯组别的获奖的车手是44号，来自852 Challengers by Zen Motorsport 的 Paul Wang。下面有请杨致远先生，福斯润滑油中国有限公司市场营销总监，为获奖车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. Patrick Yang, Marketing Director of Fuchs Lubricants China Limited, to present the trophy to Master Cup winners. 下面有请颁奖嘉宾和获奖车手再次进行合影留念。Let's have group photo. 好，感谢我们的颁奖嘉宾。Now for the drivers, it is jumping time.
Welcome to the press conference of the last race of the season. Congratulations to all top 3 finishers. Jack, starting with you, congratulations. You vowed to end the season on a high, and you certainly did. We'd like to remind people that you're only 16, and I think you've had an amazing season. And how does it feel to win the last race and finish the season as runner-up and collect 14 super license points?
Not bad. Of course, I wanted to win the championship, but Yukio did a phenomenal job all year and made it very tough. And I'm happy that he was in the team, considering I learnt a lot and improved. I think we improved ourselves as drivers to push each other. Yeah, no, it was good to get the win. It's all on the start here, isn't it? There's not much overtaking. So yeah, then I just tried to manage the tyres, but as well, there was no other race for the rest of the year, so I just pushed like hell. So yeah, thanks.
It was really nice. And how important is it for you to collect those valuable super license points?
It's good for now, I think, going forward, to have those in the backing. But to be honest, don't really think about that at this point in time. Just thinking about the racing, the enjoyment, the winning, and doing the best I can.
Thank you very much. Ukyo, congratulations, another second place, having clinched the championship title. How was this a difficult race? Because you had quite a bit of tyre degradation in the first 2 races, so how did you manage it?
Yeah, actually race 1 made me difficult weekend because I don't have any tyre left for the race 3. So considering that I had tyre in the race 3, I think I had a good pace and good managing. So, well, it's a bit difficult on the last race, like struggling with tyre, but in the end, happy to be finished like high tech 1 to 3 end of the season. So happy that.
Okay, thank you very much. Jackson, congratulations, another podium this year, your second, I believe. And tell us about your battle with Ukyo, because you seemed to have quite a lot of pace in the beginning, and it was getting very close. Tell us about that.
Well, Yukio put up a great fight. Honestly, thought I'd have him for a while, a bit longer maybe, but once he got past, it was almost impossible to get back. Like, he's just such a good blocker, and he just like a wall, impossible to get past.
All right, thank you very much.
Can I say something in Japanese to the
Yeah,
fans?
sure. Yeah.
日本の皆さん、まずはたくさん応援してくださってありがとうございました。おかげさまで、アジア F3 前線参戦することができて、そしてチャンピオンを取ることができました。本当に応援してくださったスポンサーの方々、ファンの皆様、そして家族、すべての方々に感謝します。本当にありがとうございました。
Thank you. Paul, congratulations with another win in the Masters Cup. Can you tell us how did you enjoy the season, and also do you think the Formula 3 Asian Championship is a good platform for young Hong Kong racing drivers?
Sure. Very good experience. I learned a lot. That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's